Hey, welcome back to Dead Drunk Blokes to Delta Green. You find our insipid heroes
That's about right.
leaving Theobald Greaves' house. What craziness has just happened? Let's find out now. Over to the handler.
Who, me?
That'd be you.
Oh, yes, right, yeah. So you've just done a double take, Agent David,
Yeah.
or Murta. And over to the left. You saw a crow, and then you ignored it, and then you saw the crow again, right? Now talk about this crow after the break. First of all, so you've got police outside the tent, a couple of squaddies who are making sure that no one goes into the tent, right? So, and they're also making sure that no one comes too close to the house, like nosy press. So they're keeping people away. So they're friendly. They're just outside. The tented area. They note you. They nod. In effect, they are yours. So you could tell them to kind of keep up the good work. Make sure that no one goes in there. Just to reiterate that. They know that you're probably CDC. Roberta probably.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're wearing hazmat suits, so I'd assume they probably assume that we're like.
It's not a completely exposed site. It's not like everyone's fucked off and you're just like, oh, but what if someone just comes in the night and crawls in? It's not that. It's guarded, but it's not like high security. But it's, as I said, the block has got a cordon around it. They're only letting in people who live there. The neighbours have been released back home, but no one is allowed into this site. And there's a couple of squaddies outside.
So the neighbours are back home now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, change of plans. We're not going to the coroner just yet. We might as well knock for the neighbours while we're here, right?
Oh, is it?
What about that crow?
What about that crow? Yeah. What about the crow that you saw? Let's
get to the.
No, it's fine. It's fine. We'll just move on.
What
do you mean move on?
You said talk about this crow, and then we got sidetracked, and now suddenly you don't want to talk about the crow anymore.
So you come out and onto your left, so on the right of the screen, over this way, in a tree, for argument's sake. There's a couple of crows acting very strangely. One has a blue-white streak in its feathers, and its head is tilted slightly to one side at all times. It's acting a little bit kind of spazzy, and the second one is kind of trying to fly, but it's doing it very, very in a very clumsily manner, like a lighting.
Do I have a gun?
Do you have a gun?
No.
You told me.
No, there's no way I would have allowed that.
No, the police officers do, though. They'll have a rifle in the car. And
you need a rifle to shoot the fucking crow? It's only over there.
You ever try catching a crow?
Where did we
with
get
a rifle or a gun? Yeah.
Where did we get our hazmat suits from?
They were inside, say, the airlock.
There's no sort of like net or anything like that for capturing birds knocking around, is there? Just like how you've just got like a sort of a bird net lying around.
Yeah,
there is fucking cartoon show.
Roll in alertness for bird nets and your special skill. Yeah, there's definitely there. Yeah. No, of course there fucking isn't.
And there's no swimming pool. You can't use the pool nets.
No, so I'm gonna take like 2 or 3 steps towards these strange-looking birds and have a proper examination of them. Like the worry is obviously that these things are now contaminated, right? Because they were obviously eating the corpse.
You get closer. Roberta's still there.
She's still there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kind of, excuse me, and kind of like beckon and point like at the crows.
Yeah, she sees them and she says, "Oh, how obtuse! Those poor little creatures." One doesn't look like a poor little creature. It looks very distressed. Crows are very smart, and they know you spotted them already. And like the one who can fly but just can't keep it up. He's kind of hopping terribly from branch to branch away from you. The other one, with its head kind of on one side, with the blue-white streak in its feathers, is kind of having a little moment, but it knows it can see you and it knows you're watching it.
I look at it and just go, "That's a piss magpie." Fucking never mind.
That while I don't understand anything at all, there's one thing I definitely understand, and that's that these things are evidence. And if you don't understand a piece of evidence, what you do is you give it to someone else who might understand it. But it's very important that you have that bit of evidence. So, from looking at the one that's kind of more able to move but still like ailing, do I think I could catch it?
Do you think you could catch it?
Yeah.
Catch a crow. I don't know. You could give it a go.
Does it? Yeah. I mean, does it look like it? What I mean is, I'm making my decision now. Do I draw?
Does it look so disabled that it wouldn't act like a crow?
You'd be like Grease Lightning Rock. You'd be like Grease Lightning.
It actually looks like it. It looks like you could grab it quite easily.
I'm gonna go try and snatch me some crows.
Okay, just talk me through what you're going to do to try and just walk up to it and grab it, and then.
Are you still in the hazmat suit?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Cool.
I am going to turn away. So, like, hear me out. All right. So, I don't want them to think I'm doing this, right? So, I'm going to nonchalantly kind of like look away from them and kind of walk at an angle. So, I'm not walking straight at them, but I'm closing the distance, you know. And when I think I'm close enough to pounce, that's when I'll turn and change direction and, you know, try and snatch me some crow.
And I'm going. Roll me an alertness, just please.
I'm specifically reaching for the more able one because I figure, you know, I could get the less able one after that.
Okay, roll me an alertness first. So you're like 10 foot away from it and it's sitting on top of a fence, okay? Okay. So you notice that the two policemen who are guarding your tent are like, they've stopped their duties and they're like fucking getting the popcorn out now. This can be fun. And Roberta Kane's like with them going, yeah, this is going to be fun. So you're 10 foot away from a crow, a disabled crow on a fence in a hazmat suit. The disabled crow is still there, and it's like definitely looking at you. There's two big trees either side, but this is, once you get to the fence, it's reachable, right?
So I'm going to slowly sort of crouch down.
Yeah.
What's on the ground around me? Is there anything particularly shiny? Anything, you know, like a little shiny stone, a piece of glass, a bottle cap?
There's nothing. You mean like that you might tread on that might alert your
No,
presence,
something that I could like throw to distract it for a brief moment.
There's like little pebbles and things. Roll me a stealth, although it's not strictly stealth. It's kind of sneaky, isn't it?
There you go.
Hey, sorry, are you with him?
No, he's not with me. Are you following me chasing the crows?
No. So let's say you're 6 foot away now, and you're looking at little pebbles on the floor. Try not to make eye contact with the crow on a fence. The crow it's like sidling its way, like going towards one of the trees on the left, but it's still on the fence. You're almost within like leaping range.
So I want to pick up the shiniest thing to hand, like little, you know, bit of scrap on the ground, whatever that is.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'm gonna hold it up to catch the light and then toss it. And as I do that, as I toss it away, that's when I make my move and I dart for the crow.
Okay, roll me an animal handling and performance check. Just kidding. Right, so you are going to... You're just going to roll me a dex here, okay? Straightforward dex.
That hasn't gone well.
Okay, so no, I think it has gone well. So you throw the distraction, the crooked crow kind of looks, and then you launch, right? And you get your hands on the crow. You get your massive gloved rubber hands on the crow, and the crow and about 40 other crows, 20 either side, like which are obviously hanging out in the bushes, kind of all like take off. The spazzy one is long gone, hopping his way across the fence and away. So they're up and away. The one with the blue streak is out, and you crash through the fence into the neighbour's garden. It's a beautiful sight. The police officers are pissing themselves next door.
I like to think like a cricket catch. I kind of like managed to land on my back, holding the crow aloft, like I haven't landed on it.
You have no crow in your hand. You have an invisible crow because you're a clumsy twat. But you're on the floor, having thought you had kept hold of this crow, which is now gone.
It's the gloves.
It is the gloves, probably. Next to you, there's a little grey-blue, like a grey-blue worm. You can't see because like your face planted the inside plastic of your hazmat suit. It's about the size of like a Crayola crayon. And it's kind of wriggling around next to you. You can't quite see it because you can't see anything out your visor particularly. It's kind of all a bit of a blur.
Right, I'm going to sit myself up, shake myself off, and look at this worm.
Are you right there, Dave?
It's definitely not a worm. It's definitely a finger, and it's definitely kind of squirming around a little bit. Like a little, it looks like a miniature little finger.
I'm going to shout.
Penis in the reanimator.
No, it doesn't look like it doesn't look like a baby's little finger. It just looks like a little finger to a really weird scale. So it's not a child's finger. It's like a
miniature finger.
It's like a miniature finger. Yeah.
Like what your finger looks like right now in the camera.
I'm going to call Roberta and Pat over, and I'm just going to sit on the ground like a bit perplexed, kind of pointing at this finger.
They stop laughing and they start backing up.
I'll walk over there. I'm like, you all right, man? Do you need a drink?
Has anyone got like a bag or a matchbox or something?
You've all got like evidence bags and stuff.
All right, I have as well. Yeah. Okay, one of those.
Yeah. Put that in a bag.
They might have some jars. They might well have some jars at the CD. Roberta might have some jars if you wanted something that wasn't a plastic bag.
Let's bag this up, Roberta. I don't understand why you thought it was okay to just let those clearly infected wildlife knock around in that tree.
Yeah, Roberta.
She kind of looks at you stunned. Looks at the thing in the bottle or whatever you got it in, and just kind of her adult's definitely started to wear off now. It's like she's like, I just called this in. This is like.
I think it's pertinent that we widen the cordon. Obviously,
this is a bit weird.
This tent is great, but like, can we not shut down the entire block?
One of the police officers next to it sees the finger and says, "Oh, cool, yeah. Look, we used to go fishing, and this is what happened. We used to fish it when we gut the fish. It used to kind of like go crazy, like it was alive." So him and his mate are like nonplussed. Roberta's like,
"Can I smack the copper in the face?" Shut up.
The coppers seem to think this is kind of like just like when they go fishing and salt water touches the nerves of a dead fish.
I'm gonna flash the FBI badge at the coppers and say, "We need this entire block shut down now." there's a serious biological agent, and it's clearly affecting the local wildlife.
And I'll flash whatever badge he gave me, whether it be CDC or FBI. Just like flash both of them at the same time. Do it.
They talk amongst themselves, and one of them says to you, "Okay, I'll need to get on to Police Chief Crannell on this one, and just let him know." So you kind of hear him on the radio. It's like, "Oh, the agents here have said that they want a wider cordon, blah blah blah." And Police Chief Crannell says, "Yeah, no problem. We're kind of all over it. We'll be stricter with the people going in there. If they can just pass on a bit more detail as to what exactly they want from a cordon and where they want it, blah blah blah." So they're being. It sounds like the chatter on the police radio between them, they're being completely compliant. There's no like, "Oh, who do they think they are?" or anything. That seems like fine. Is your opinion is your directive to actually put a cordon wider, or to pretend that the cordon is needed wider?
I want a wider cordon because I think that whatever is got out is potentially still knocking around, and like if there's going to be infected wildlife knocking around and stuff, I would rather that people were further away from all of this. So like,
okie dokie.
Okay. Well, you're the boss, Dave. You're the boss.
I just think getting a wider cordon would also protect the house better as well.
Fine. Let me give you a little bit of an idea as to where the cordon is. We're going into a bit of a granular detail, but I think it's useful for you to know what's going on, what's going down. Let's see if I fuck this up. I've got a map of the block, but I just need to bring it up. So, cool. They're doing that. They've put like a much tighter cordon around Silvercrest, which like the 20. I don't know what it was, 24th Drive or whatever it is. And they're stopping people from coming and going now completely. Is that kind of what you want?
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell them that that whatever was in that house is potentially infected local wildlife, and we don't know what the consequences might be. Yeah. But if you see anything strange.
1 second, these seem like hillbilly boys. Like if you tell them local wildlife's infected, they're going to do cull in a local area. Like, you want to be a bit careful of them running around just shooting everything up.
Not bothered. That's fine. They can kill all of the crows. I don't care.
They're all good. I think they're taking it all pretty seriously. They laugh because they genuinely, to you, you genuinely thought that they found it funny because they felt it was harmless.
Yeah.
Not that they thought it was kind of like some kind of like weird jock prank. So they're taking it seriously. Yeah. You've just had it confirmed over the radio that the cordon that was already in place but allowed, it was more of a kind of a soft barrier around the block, has become now like a hard barrier, and you're containing.
How very COVID.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
While this was going on, I was getting rid of the hazmat suit and straightening out my slacks and jacket.
Cool.
I was just giving evils to the law enforcement.
I forget where we were actually.
Outside the house.
Oh, yeah, outside the house. You had a couple of neighbours or something. We were
going to go and see the coroner, but I thought it was a smarter idea to just knock for the neighbours while we were here.
Not for the neighbours.
Now the neighbours are locked down, we might want to go and see if they want any provisions or something, if they're going to be locked down for a while. Neighbourly kind of thing to do.
You're locking them down. Oh no, that's not the right one. Who are the neighbours? That is the question. Why would you bother? So, for the argument's sake,
fuck the neighbours. Who's the pimp?
Oh yeah, that's right. That's what you were wearing, wasn't it?
It was green, I believe. It was green.
What we got? Oh yeah, we got Elizabeth McReady.
So it was Marty Pacewaite and Lady.
You've just gone very juddery there. Say that again, slowly.
What was that again?
Frank, you've gone all breaky uppy. Frankie.
I'm just reading the names. We've got Elizabeth McReady. Yes.
Yeah, say it again.
Can you hear me, Andy?
Yeah.
I can't.
Say what again?
1 minute. I'll reconnect.
Can you hear me, Andy?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. I'm going to reconnect as well, just so.
Oh, why not?
Okay. Is that better?
Oh, that's lovely.
Okay. Right. So we've got Elizabeth McReady, who looks a bit like Ellen DeGeneres in a hoodie.
Best I could do.
And
And
we've got Marty Pacewaite.
Marty Pacewaite, yeah, who looks like
Are they the neighbours on either side, or are they?
they're the neighbours on either side. Yeah, those are the two neighbours that were taken originally because they're so close to the site, and they were taken in and investigated for any kind of contaminants, and then they were released by the medical team back home. Life moves fast.
I want to go and interview Elizabeth.
Do you?
So I am going to have the FBI badge at the ready. I assume Pat will follow me up because I'm not going to unlock the car, so he can either stand by a locked car or he can come with me. So yeah, go and go to Elizabeth's front door. Does she have a doorbell or a door knocker?
Doorbell.
Okay, so I knock on the door.
Okay. Door opens. You haven't seen her before, but you're aware it was Elizabeth McReady. You didn't know whether you were going to get Marty or Elizabeth, and you ask, sorry?
I say, Miss McReady?
And she says, yes, she's wearing a hoodie and she's got two thumbs. And
Agent Hawkins, FBI.
Thank you, officer. It's been thank you, officer, for coming over. It's been very hectic. I'm so glad we could get back into our house.
Agent.
Okay, sorry. Sorry.
Do you mind if we come in?
What? Sorry. Who's this guy?
We're FBI agents.
Oh, okay.
Show her your badge.
That's a CDC on it.
I'm consulting.
Oh, right. Yes. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry. It's terrible. What happened to the neighbours? Absolutely terrible. You guys want to come in? You okay to come in?
That is why I said, can we come in? Yeah.
Well, yes. I'm a little bit nervous, so just just bear with me.
Why don't you make some tea? That's always good when you're nervous.
Yes, that's a good idea. So she tootles off.
Just barge into someone's house and demand they make themselves a cup of tea.
What was that? Do you think this is England?
I wonder if I make
She's going to make a terrible cup of tea.
Stick it in the microwave or something.
She's clattering about. She's very nervous. You've both got quite high alertness, haven't you? So there's you kind of glean that maybe you can glean that she once had a husband. There's a few photographs of a memorial to Mr. McCready, and that was only a few years ago. So and
Ellen had a husband.
I know.
No, she's playing someone that had a husband.
Oh right, yeah, okay, I got
it. So she comes back and she's got a lukewarm cup of milky light brown tea, and I'll ask you guys to sit down in this front room of hers. Her house is it looks pretty much like the same layout as Greaves's house, kind of toy town, like Lego town estate. This one, so the house is all kind of pretty much the same. She starts like rabbiting on, like very nervously saying, "Oh, there was such a nice guy, like known him for years, like."
Was he a quiet man?
Yeah, it was reasonably quiet. It's like he was always like the rich guy who liked fluezes. Always quite a lot of fun, but like lived on his own for quite a long time, and he was always liked to party with like exotic ladies. You know what I mean? And then he's been settled down for quite a while now, and yeah, it's been nice. Him and his wife are lovely.
When you say exotic ladies, are you
ladies of the mind
talking about working girls?
Oh yeah, kind of, but the sexy versions, not like the
High class one. No, yeah, not that
nice
street.
ones.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
I mean, it's fine by us. It never like brought the area down or anything, and but he certainly liked to flash his money to the girls, if you know what I mean.
What about where his money came from? What do you know about his work?
I have no idea. I don't really care too much, to be quite honest. But um, he did he did spend a lot of time at home, and he did do a lot of work for fertility, I think, and genetic. I think he was into genetics or something. But he didn't really talk about it too much. He was always kind of just kind of kept to himself. But a really nice guy, and then we tend to see more of him when he's settled down with.
So can you talk to me specifically about the last 48 hours?
Well,
Robert De Niro and another guy get trapped on a plane and they get handcuffed together, and then they. Oh, sorry, you meant the last 48 hours, not these ones. Okay, carry on.
Certainly a lot of questions. She's bumbled her way through her tea already, so she's like. She's asked if you guys would like a drink because she could do with something a bit stronger.
Yes, that'd be lovely.
So we can't. We are on the clock.
Oh yes, that's true. Sorry.
She kind of looks disappointed and then goes and pours herself a little whiskey out of the cabinet just behind you. She admits she didn't care too much for the doctor. He was a really nice guy, but kind of didn't. I'd mind my own business and he'd mind his own business, and in recent months he did seem a bit lost and a bit frightened, but that didn't. I mean, I know it seems crazy, but there's no noise. There's nothing to suggest that someone was out to try and get him. And
Mrs. McReady. Any unusual visitors at all, apart from his beautiful wife?
There's a like a rattling in your pocket where the finger is in your bag or your bottle, and she clocks it.
That's not me. I think my colleague has bad guts.
Excuse me. Do you mind if I use the toilet?
Be my guest. Yeah, it's first on the left.
So yeah, Mrs. McReady. Sorry to obviously intrude and stuff, but if you could focus on the questions at hand. Any visitors that wasn't normal to the area over the last couple of days, couple of weeks?
Do you know what? It's very boring around here. It's just completely normal. I mean, like I said, there's not a great deal to talk about. She goes and grabs another drink, and she's upset. So she's nervous and she's also upset. Could you both roll me a humint, please? This is to try and determine what or why. Okay.
Humint. Ha 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 ha.
Oh fuck. Oh fuck.
Oh shit.
She's not bothered. She's upset. She's not bothered about the doctor. You talk about the doctor, she's not bothered. You talk about like normal life, she's upset. Both roll me no. Actually,
could I ask a question?
Frankie, roll me an alertness. Oh shit! I thought you rolled 91. Sorry.
No, I definitely didn't.
Based on her reaction, it's spurring you on to look around this room more, because she's not upset about the right things. You notice on the table behind her, say in a dining area, there's a bundle of printed flyers, and they look a bit like this. I wonder whether you can see them. I can show you.
So because I'm walking back in from the toilet, I'm going to kind of be talking to her as I'm walking across to the flyers. Like, Elizabeth, could you tell me exactly what happened in the last 24 hours? You must have seen or heard something.
She literally says, the only thing, it's completely unrelated, is Estes. Oh, sorry, Leo. Sorry, not Estes. Is Leo. I can't find Leo.
I'm sure you must be very sad about your dog, but you do realise 2 people have died next door. We're asking you questions about that. Like, it must be tough that your dog is lost.
No, it is, but like, my dog was my only companion, and she's been missing since last night.
Jesus Christ, woman, get some perspective. And I stand up.
She starts like, her tears start welling now, and you can tell she wishes to be more help, but she doesn't know anything.
I snatch one of the flyers and say, "All right, I'll look for the goddamn dog as well." Come on,
David, come on, some compassion towards your fellow human.
I walk out onto the front doorstep, and as soon as I get out there, hip flask comes out of the jacket, top comes off.
Mrs. McReady. It is Mrs., correct?
Yes. Unfortunately, my husband's no longer with us. And she looks at David and says, "And no, that didn't happen in the last 48 hours, in case you're wondering."
Missing the doggy.
David's on the fucking doorstep, isn't he? So,
well, Leo, I can understand missing a dog. I had a dog myself once, little Missy. She was shot in a tragic drive-by incident. But just out of curiosity, how long has it just been you and Leo?
It's been like 5 years or so.
5 years or so. And your husband, did he know Theobald or your neighbours at all?
Yeah, I mean, my husband and I have known Tilbert for a while, and unfortunately, my husband never got to meet his wife or his girlfriend, because he would have got on quite well with them, I think.
And you yourself got on very well with Theobald's girlfriend.
Yeah, she was nice, and it was good. It was good that he had someone to settle down with. She was a very beautiful, very young but very beautiful woman. Yeah.
But you spent some time with her. You spoke to her, yes?
As neighbours, we didn't go out or anything.
Okay, so no local book club or anything like that.
No, I'm a big member of the Church of Latter-day Saints, which is
yes,
just around the corner of here, and I have asked them to come and join us. I do try to get people along, even if it's for just a little bit of soul crunching, help them through the day. But no, you guys wouldn't be interested in coming to a service, would you? The church isn't too far away. I mean, they'd be warmly received.
Maybe on our travels, but at the moment, I must warn you that you are now being placed in a full lockdown.
What, just my house?
No, this entire street. So please refrain from going outside. I know the temptation to look for Leo will be there, but as you saw, David did take a flyer, and although he acts like a mean ass, he's got a kind heart. We will keep an eye out and tell the local officers to keep an eye out for the dog as well.
Thank you. And she's kind of she's not enjoyed you guys being around. That's for sure. But hey, she's lonely, and she is alone, and you are bastards.
Yeah, of course. Understood. Do you have enough whiskey and everything to see you through these next 48 hours?
I mean, a little bit more wouldn't go amiss if you're passing next time. Maybe we can have a drink when you're off duty.
I would love that, Mrs. McCready.
Thank you.
I would love that. Right, bye.
I'm gonna. That's beautiful. Well done, guys. You horrible bastards.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Both of her neighbours have been murdered, and she was like, "Yeah, no, they have been brutally murdered next door, and that. But have you seen my dog?"
Like, so as I walk out the door, I'm like, "Yeah, she's part of that crazy Christian cult shit. Come on."
I'm already holding the hip flask open, like, as you walk. Like, I'm not even looking. I'm just holding it there for you to take. Like,
yeah, I just grab it and drink it. I'm like,
clearly
you get better whiskey.
Clearly, a psychopath who just loves dogs.
Starting to walk to Marty's. Hip flask.
Ooh,
I've lost everyone again.
I can hear you.
I can't hear anyone, I'm afraid.
Oh dear.
What, are we dropping out?
Thing.
I think Shogun was dropping out.
Is that better?
Hey, I can hear you.
There we go.
Okay, let me try that again. All right, so hip flask away, pop a breath mint, have a quick glance at the flyer. This is all while we're walking to what's his name's place, to Marty's gaff.
Yeah. I'll gesture for you to hand me the flyer.
Yeah, okay, pass you the flyer. I've registered as a King Charles Spaniel we're looking for.
I take the flyer, take all the information I need off of it, and as we pass the house, obviously Tearbolt's house with the coppers outside, I'll go, "Oi, boys, keep an eye out after that," and just throw it at them, and then carry on walking.
And they kind of look at you and say, "Is this like
yes?
Is this real? Like, is this real?"
I like that.
But I know you said that we should look into all leads, but I didn't think we should be looking into the dog leads.
Listen, if there's infected crows, there can be infected dogs. If you see it around, grab it.
Right, okay. They're kind of like, their face turns from like, "Oh, aren't I the Joker?" into, "Oh, fuck. Okay, fine." Great. They've got some...
maybe try a net or something. It's not easy to catch animals barehanded, trust me.
They've got like PPE in their car, which they kind of like walk over to and just start putting on. I think they're starting to take it a bit more seriously now. My apologies. One thing I didn't do was to put your mental health at risk when you saw that finger. So can you do a retroactive SAN roll for me, please?
That feels less fair now. I feel like I've already accepted it and moved on.
Don't care.
I don't have to, do I?
Okay. No, yeah, both of you do. Yeah, you both.
Oh, fuck off! I was too busy laughing at him.
That's just a coping mechanism. That's all it is.
Fuck's sake.
I can't stop rolling amazingly. I don't know what's going on.
Shut up.
Experience tells me this doesn't have longevity, so you're right. There you go. No harm done. May I ask you to keep ticking off your stat sheets when you fail a roll, please?
Oh, fuck me.
God damn it. Okay, so
it's fine. It's all right. You just I'm kind of doing it for you a little bit. But it will just help you out because we'll probably do a little boost at some point.
Okay.
Particularly when I'm asking you to roll accounting and shit.
Yeah, that's the one.
I think you've passed all your alertnesses, so you're okay.
No, I didn't.
I got a bureaucracy earlier as well.
Oh yes, that was it. Yeah, there we go. Beautiful. So Marty, pathweight. Here's the other side. What's that?
Is his head as round in real life? Like when he answers the door, is it that dome, or is it like a big...
Well, it looks like Ham Hock with a skinhead.
I wear a wig. Actually, yeah. Look how round that is. It's beautiful. you knock on the door. Okay, do you want me to do that for you? Yeah, why not? He's already seen you coming. He's there at the door. I think he saw you like wandering around. Officers, hi. I presume you're here for the investigation. IDs. It's quite a matter of fact. He asked for IDs straight away.
Flip it out.
Both of them.
Flip it out and then show him my ID.
He asks you in. Asks you just to take your shoes off before you come in.
As he turns around, I purposely rub my trainers or my shoes across his carpet and then take them off.
Marty has to roll Sam. Okay. Again, his house is the same, but it's like a mirror image of Greaves's. So that layout. He doesn't invite you into the living room. Just goes through into the kitchen and says, "Okay, let's cut to it. I know how these things go. From the top. Didn't hear a thing. Didn't see a thing."
Okay, so you could drop the attitude right now. You may have watched a lot of television, but you know.
Excuse me, officer. Excuse me, officer. I didn't ask for someone to get murdered next door. I didn't ask to be manhandled over to the hospital. I didn't ask to be put in lockdown. It seems now the police seem to be stopping us all from going anywhere.
Are you asking to be arrested for obstructing an investigation?
Are you asking to be an arsehole, or are you asking questions so I can answer?
Agent Hawkins, maybe you could take a sit outside. I can see the dog situation has got you riled up. Maybe take a step back from Mr. Pathwaite here, and I will have a chat with him.
I'm going to storm off into the front room.
Sorry about that, Mr. Pathwaite. You can understand that these things need to be done to find out what's going on. I know you don't want to be in lockdown. No one does. If anything's proven that, it's the last couple of months in England.
It's 2018. What are you talking about, man? What's going on in England?
It's gone bad. It's gone bad. Thatcher's down a lot. Right, so listen to me, Mr. Pathwaite. We just want to find a little bit more information behind your neighbours. How well did you know them? That kind of thing. You must watch a lot of Law and Order from the way you reacted when we opened the door. So could you just answer the minimal of questions and we'll be out of your way? Is that okay?
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I mean,
so did you have any relationship with his wife?
I was going to say, did someone mention Law and Order? Did I have a relationship with his wife? Did you say?
Yeah, any kind of relationship at all?
Sorry, I thought you. I mean, Tybalt is known for having. Fast cars and fast ladies, if you know what I mean. And
you didn't like that, did you?
It's tiring, and I didn't move to this area to
It's hard watching them from the window every evening. I get it.
It's very hard. It's very hard. The matter in hand is very hard, and it did start it did stop when he met his girlfriend, but I don't care for the man. It's just a bit it's a bit flashy for me, and I'm sorry that someone decided to go and murder him and his girlfriend. And
so you know someone murdered him? Is that?
I presume that's the case because of the amount of attention, and that's what they're saying on the news as well. There's 2 bodies found. I can only presume that someone went after some of his wife's handbags or something.
You can assume what you like, Mr. Pathwaite.
Yeah, you'll get the name right one day.
Yes, you didn't even ask mine, so don't ask about manners. So let's talk about your line of work. What do you do?
What do you care what I do?
Everything is important in these investigations, as I'm sure Law and Order has told you.
Yeah, I'm an accountant.
Oh, how fun for you. Could you just look over these IRS statements for me?
Out of
No,
script,
don't,
you know?
don't worry about that. Let's see. So you are an accountant for what firm, may I ask?
Prossett and Paithwaite. I'm one of the partners there.
Oh, very well done. Your mother must be proud.
It's only like two guys and a desk in an office over by the mall. Well, that's gone to shit as well now, so I have to go and do my shopping somewhere else too. The whole place is going to shit, isn't it? And I've just made that company name up, so I better write it down. Posset. What a stupid fucking name.
This is nearly as bad as Pathway.
Right. I do go on, officer. I'm sorry I'm being so terse. I'm just tired.
I can imagine.
Exhausted.
I can imagine. We are as well. We've travelled all night to be here with you just to see what's going on. Now, I'm going to go through the main cause of why we're here. It's just to inform you, you are now in a full lockdown, as you have already attained by what's going on in the area. We will need you to stay here. You cannot leave. And we may be back to ask you some more questions depending on where the investigation goes. Now, is that going to be a problem, Marty?
No. I'm sorry, officer.
Okay, Mr. Passelthwaite. So, as you are aware, stay inside, and we will be back shortly to find out a little bit more of what you know. But please get some rest. We only wish you the best of health. Marty.
Roll me a persuade.
Oh, Mr. Charismatic here. Doesn't have any in persuade. Or does he? Let's find out. Here's a bit.
It was cooling to you towards the end. Oh, blimey. Oh, blimey, mate. You don't have any persuade. You got 70%. like I said, this is not like a... unless I tell you the consequence, it's not really like a pass or a fail. It's like a spectrum of success.
And my spectrum was high on the scale.
He's warm to you because I think he just needs to get something off his chest. He just needs to get that off his chest. You just need to get the fact that he's just pissed off and doesn't care.
Yeah.
And he tells you something pertinent. Probably the first bit of useful information that you've got off the couple of neighbours worth.
So all this shit I've written down isn't pertinent. For fuck's sake.
No, it's just making it look as though it was. He noticed. He goes on to say that he noticed a brown Lexus sedan.
Not a Lexus.
Parked on the street several times. With the driver seemingly watching Greaves's house.
But probably... never left the car, Marty? The driver, I mean, not you.
He goes on to then say, like, because he was getting pissed off with someone just like rolling their car in like the neighborhood, he went out and approached them. He's not a guy who he's not a shrinking violet. He's the sort of guy who would go and confront anyone who was outside. So he goes and walks out. He goes and walks out to the car. He's a bit of an asshole, although his face looks a bit clown-like.
He looks a bit like an MG Owners Club member. So yeah, I get what you mean.
I thought he was a prick that when I came in and he started being rude off the bat, even though I'm flashing credentials. That's why I'm calling off in the front room.
He's not sure if it's he's not sure if there's any connection here, but it seems odd because it's a quiet road. He went out and confronted the driver of the car to ask them what they were doing, and it was a woman. And
that must have made him furious.
All right, calm down, Dave. Jesus. Let's get the information.
She showed him a private investigator's license.
Okay, for which state?
He doesn't remember.
I understand. It must have been a confusing time for you, a woman in power.
This was a little while ago, but it happened quite a lot. So this was, he kind of thinks this was kind of nothing happens in this road. So when someone parks outside someone's house several times with someone watching a house, you get a bit suspicious. But this was like this was kind of months ago, 6 months ago or something.
Quick description of the woman, Marty, please.
Brown hair, kind of middle-aged. You know what? I'm a guy. I don't know, but
more hair than you that's all we're going to say.
In the days leading up to the incident next door, there was nothing unusual, nothing heard from.
So the car never appeared again in the last few days. This was weeks, months, maybe.
After I approached it, it stopped, but it did do it like numerous occasions over a few weeks.
Well, Mr. Pathwaite, you have been much help, and as I said, please stay indoors, and we shall see you soon, or soon enough. Kids.
He nods and says, "See yourself out."
The gaze is just rude. As we meet in the hallway, I can't believe that. What a prick.
Well, I tell you what, keeping that fucking accent on didn't fucking kill me. I tell you, get the fuck out.
What the fuck is up with these neighbours? Neither of them seem to be at all bothered that two people have died in highly suspicious circumstances next door.
Welcome to the suburbs, my friend.
Maybe
no fucker cares if their neighbours out this way.
Maybe they carried it out. Maybe they're the murderers.
Well, no one heard anything. Like there wasn't two like strange sort of like dot marks on the guy's neck, was there? He wasn't like he didn't have a scarf, like a jaunty sort of neckerchief tied or anything,
or like a missing finger, or maybe an extra toe.
All right, so Pat, I think next up we go and see the coroner. He might actually have something useful to say.
Well, you're the boss.
Can you roll me both of you roll me another humint, please?
I've already failed it once. How do I double tick?
Oh, sorry. You already rolled it on Marty, didn't you? Sorry, David. Could you roll me a humint on Marty?
No, I haven't rolled a human on Marty. We rolled a human on McCready.
Oh, did you? All right. Yeah, both of you then roll me, please. Oh shit.
Oh, systemic fail.
Ouch.
So
does that mean I've got him completely wrong and he's not a prick? He's actually a nice guy. I just don't understand him.
Pat, you sense that there's a lot of envy in that while he was bringing the area down with his
debauchery,
with his rich guy who liked floozes attitude, bringing home strippers and escorts or whatever. You felt that this guy was like vastly jealous, whereas Frankie doesn't agree with you at all. Frankie, you are certain that he's behind some of it.
Suspect number one for you.
Yeah, he's hiding something.
But I think, potentially both of them are, but neither of them seem to care at all. Like something's fishy.
Yeah, absolutely,
100%. Maybe
99% for sure.
I think maybe Mr. Old Boston PD man, you're a little bit too connected to your feelings. Not been in the underworld for long enough to realise that you can separate them.
Listen, I cracked many cases based off my gut.
I guess you cracked many eggs, but I'm still working, and you knew me for a long time.
I'm telling you, this guy is in it up to his neck.
Well, we can always go and look at his accountancy firm. I wouldn't mind talking to his partner about this file that I have in my hand. But other than that...
So we should make our way to the coroner, but something has struck me. There's not many women in the PI game, and if someone was watching Greaves, they were probably local. It probably wouldn't be that hard to narrow it down.
Okay, I'll jump onto Google and have a quick look for local PIs then.
Local PIs. There is...
While you drive.
Yeah, I'm driving up.
Oh, blimey, my whiteboard's getting full.
You don't have a whip as a nay-nay. Bruh.
So, okay, I'm going to stay on this map. It's pretty easy to go onto Google and find private eyes. There are 4 locally.
Female agents only, really.
There's nothing to suggest on any of the websites that these private investigating companies have specific female employees or services. They are kind of divorce proceeding, kind of divorce grounds. They are kind of particularly in this area. They're kind of like former detectives working in the field of. There tends to be a lot of money in rich tech people and divorcing their old wives. And those sort of contracts. They seem to specialise in those. It's almost like have you had PPI claim? It's kind of that. It's like that in the area.
Has your rich scientist dumped you on your ass for a young hooker? Please call this number.
Do you want some names?
I'm thinking if there's no individual one that says woman, because in this line of work, if you're a woman, it's a big help, especially if you are a divorced woman looking to claim off your husband. Being a woman would be a big selling point, a key selling point of you being the detective.
Yeah.
Due to they'll be all against men and shit for that time. Not saying they would. I'm just saying that that's a possibility and would be a key selling point. So unless any of them actually state ex female detective or anything like that, maybe not the right point of access due to the fact that it's probably not actually a private detective. Someone else involved in whatever Theobald was in is more likely.
Okay.
There's only 4 numbers on that list, right? Why don't you just call them and ask if they have any female detectives?
Okay, I'll do that then.
So first number is Wilford Smith, private investigators. I've marked them on the top right of your map. They have a number. They specialise. It is. What is the time? Oh yeah. What is the time?
The time is probably about like 3:30.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. It depends. We left the house at 3, the Crow, and then we went to the neighbours.
Yeah, I'll give you that. 3:30. Fine. Okay. So you call Wilford Smith. They're corporate investigators. They specialise in regulatory investigations, allegations of fraud, bribery, corruption, sanctions, money laundering, whistleblowing, dawn raids, multinationals, blah blah blah. If you get hit, you'll need a strong team. Apparently, the receptionist answers, and they say we don't have any females on the books, but we do have contractors that we can call on if there's anything sensitive.
Mm-hmm. Okay, possibility number 1. They are, I'd say, level. I'll do them a level out of 10. That's a possibility of about 4.
Let's write that on there. Sorry, 4.
4 out of 10, possibly.
They want to protect security and surveillance. What do? They do private investigation, do matrimonial detective work, they do close protection and people training as well. Again, they say they do have, they can offer, if in delicate circumstances, female detection. Female operatives.
That sounds illegal.
But we don't have anyone on our books who are full time. But
I would give them a 6 out of 10.
And the next one are Dino, Belton, and Wells.
I can't see that. I've got Bark.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Still nothing on there.
Is it high up? Maybe is it further up than that?
No, I've zoomed right out.
I can see 4 circles.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I've got it. This one here.
Oh yeah, there we go. Right, sorry. Let me just write that again. Oops.
Dino, Barton, and Wells. Yeah.
Dino Belton and Wells, and they specialise in what do they do? Private investigation company that specialises in surveillance and private investigations. Of course, you do. All our investigations are from the background of either the military or police, and are highly trained professional investigators. Why choose us? We're knowledgeable and discreet. Blah blah blah. Get in touch today. Doesn't really tell them too much on the website. You call them, and you get no dialing tone.
Okay, that seems like if they're all ex-military, there's a possibility that they're involved in something a little bit more shifty.
Cool.
Still give
code as well. That's weird.
Yeah, so I'll give them a 6 unless they've shut down, but that's a 6 variable on other information to be gained.
Bark. Bark, 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 bark.
Expert Swedish chefs.
Let's have a little look. Sorry about this. And Bark, they're over in the west slightly. I've just marked them on the map. They're a kind of franchise, I suppose. They're more of a national kind of agency. So there's 200 kind of. You're aware of Bark being kind of a
all over
the place, and they do like they're the sort of company that does the affordable private investigation services. You know, like 100% fully confidential, kind of on their website. 22 years experience. You know, so it's a little franchise with probably a couple. In your experience, probably a couple of guys. You call them, a guy answers and confirms they do have, one of the partners is a woman. It's him and his wife. They work there and they've been doing it for 11 years. Half of the 22.
So there's another. Okay. They might be worth just a quick ask in person, flashing the badges, but other than that, I'm still looking at the North dialing tone. I think you might want to ring the handler and just see if he can put a background check into each one, just to see if there's anything connected to Delta Green or their enemies.
Yeah, so I guess it's not a bad idea now to give Dwayne an update as to where we're at. So I'll get the burner out and find Dwayne.
Ring, ring. Howdy, partner. Howdy, partner. This is the British Texan Authority here. How are you today? Would you like a cup of tea?
Dwayne, you sound strange. Are you okay?
How you doing? You all right?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. So we're chasing down a few leads now.
Right.
Neighbours definitely 100% involved. Found a finger that was crawling around. We kept that in a jar for you guys. This isn't quite what I thought it was going to be.
What were you expecting?
Less animated body parts, probably. I don't know. I mean, it seemed fairly normal at the beginning. There was some dead people, and now there was some crows. It wasn't my finest moment, but I think the wildlife has been infected around there. You might want to, I don't know. We need nets, probably. Anyway, look, that's beside the point. I need you to look into these local PI firms.
I will wind it back a bit. So you need me to. I'll tell you what I will do. I will tell you to contact pest control if you've got problems with the animals out there.
No,
Anything bigger, then you need to.
This is bigger than that. Someone was watching Greaves's place. A woman, brown hair, female. Like a woman. When she was approached, she had PI credentials. We're trying to work out which firm she comes from, and there's a firm that we've tried to reach out to that seems interesting, but it seems like it doesn't exist. We're wondering, is there any way you could get us some information about the local PI firms? Stuff we couldn't just Google ourselves.
It depends what you want. I mean, you could just go and ask the local detectives to do you a favour, unless you're trying to keep it secret. What sort of information are you after? Can you say over the phone?
Yeah, just stuff that may not be 100% above board. This goes deep, and there's a high chance that whoever was watching Greaves might be someone we want to talk to.
What is it you want to know about who, and kind of what information can't you get hold of?
So there's one firm in particular we're interested in.
Delta Bravo whiskey. I don't know what I put the initials down. I forgot what they meant. Bollocks.
Dino Belton Wells.
Yeah, Dino Belton Wells. Do you know? You guys have anything on them?
Never heard of them.
Okay.
Dwayne, as always, you've been a massive help.
You guys are doing a sterling job as ever. Have you had any problems with the press or anything like that? How are they coping with not being able to access sites? Are they all right?
It's fine. We've had to increase the size of the cordon, what with the contamination and the fingers and the crows, but don't worry, it's fine.
So why did you call me? Was it just a sit rep?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask specifically if you could find anything else out about that PI firm, but
they have a military background, but we can't get in contact with them. I shut that out as soon as you seem to be struggling on the phone.
Yeah, say he doesn't know anything about them. I think we're on our own here, Pat.
Well, okay. Well, we go and have a look at them.
If I find anything useful, I'll let you know. But I mean, just do a bit of digging. If you need me to do something a lot more higher level, then fine. But I don't know what higher level stuff I'm going to find out about.
Dwayne, I should probably mention that aeroplane that went down. We haven't really had time to sort of get a handle on that.
As far as I'm aware, and Roberta will confirm that the area is secure. So when you're ready, get over there, or arrange for someone else to get over there on your behalf. But you've been on site now for what, 6 hours or so? You seem to be making good progress. Just pull on the threads. Here it goes. If we have any more information to give you, which will help, or if we feel you're out your depth, then we'll help out. So don't concern yourself too much. Just try not to use this channel unnecessarily. Okay.
I get it. You're not the chatty type. That's no problem, Dwayne.
If I find anything out about Dino, Belton, and Wells, I'll let you know. But the more I go and try and find stuff out, the more we're likely to expose ourselves. So maybe use some of your contacts on the ground. Okay.
Okay, Roger. Got that.
Bye.
Have a lovely day. Bye. I think we're probably pretty close to the medical examiner's office at this point.
Well, David, my friend.
Yeah.
Maybe I will go and acquire another vehicle and go around and see these different locations of the private eye places while you speak to this doctor type.
Okay, so I'll let him out.
I'll go steal the nearest car.
And of which that cliffhanger leads us nicely to the end of this session.
Hey! Well, ladies and gentlemen, this has been DDB do VISCID. Delta Green. We will be back shortly. Bye!
Bye!